Afrobeat is not a creation of Ghana, it's a creation of Nigerians Fela Kuti. Many people don't seem to understand. When they read these internet write-up, they will just confuse everything about Afrobeat. I want to tell you much about Afrobeat because we have Afrobeat and Afrobeats with the X on it, and Nigeria is showing dominance still on that particular genre to an extent. Before I jump in proper, if you are new here, you can click the subscribe button below and the bell notification icon to always get notifications each time we upload our videos. Legendary Fela created Afrobeat. That is one thing I'm telling you for free right now. You have to understand that Afrobeat is a combination of funk, it's a combination of high life and jazz. That is where Afrobeat stands from. And Fela is the pioneer of Afrobeat in Africa. That is what I'm telling you for free, and you need to understand it from that dimension. When you understand this, you will understand the foundation of Afrobeat. Many people will come and argue that Afrobeat is not a creation of Nigeria. You cannot talk about Afrobeat without mentioning Fela as the originator of Afrobeat. And if you want to understand this, I'm saying you should pick a sample album from Fela's catalog and that of James Brown, and you get to understand what I'm saying. When you pick an album and listen to it called Get on the Good Food by James Brown, you will understand what I'm saying. Just try and listen to that album, listen to the percussion, the instruments, and the diversity of guitar lines used in that particular album. You will get to understand that yes, that is a package or a full package of jazz and funk to an extent. Go back to Fela's Suffering and Smiling album. You will listen and get the full details of how Afrobeat actually stand out. You will understand that Fela did a combination of funk, a combination of high life and jazz, and that made Afrobeat to stand out. And now some people are trying to lay claim to Afrobeat. Afrobeat is a creation of Nigeria, so we have to understand the dimension to it. The jazz music in Afrobeat is an evidence that yes, Afrobeat stems from jazz, funk, high life, and our story as Africans. Afrobeats with the S is now the rave of the moment, and a lot of people can really attest to that looking at the lives of Burna Boy, Wizkid, and Davido, and some other artists in Africa at a time like this. Afrobeat with the S is a fusion of different genres of music in Africa. That is something we need to understand with the X, because right now they did a fusion, the Makusa, the Azonto, the Amapiano, they put everything together, importing the Western sound into it also to make it Afrobeat. That is why the likes of Banky and a lot of other sound R&B, but we still categorize it as Afrobeat R&B. That is something you need to understand. And when you check what is happening with the trend right now, that is our biggest export as Africans to other parts of the world. And a lot of people can really attest to that. Nigeria is really showing dominance on this, and a lot of people are now attributing it to the population of Nigeria. One thing you need to understand is when you check the streams coming in from Nigeria is large enough, and not only Nigerians are streaming Nigerians, we still conquer territories based on the Afrobeats with the S. The only way we could have packaged our story, our sounds as Africans, is to infuse it into the foreign sounds and then export it to them. And that is showing dominance to an extent in Africa and in the world. And a lot of people are really responding to Afrobeats with the X. But the dominance shown by Nigerians are really causing envy among other nations in Africa. They need not envy Nigerians. What they need to do is to focus on collaborating with Nigerians and study the blueprints and the plans of Nigeria when it comes to entertainment. That will give them a head up. That is something I kind of understand. Remember in 2023, Ghana actually opened their borders to Nigerian artists, and we invaded it with our music, and that spotlighted Ghana ahead of South Africa according to what we have, the data we have in 2023. And right now, Ghanaians are really saying that they want to shut back their doors, against foreign artists, and that will not really help them. But I think if we must keep exporting Afrobeat with the S, we need to actually work together as African nations. What is your own take about this? I want you to put that in the comment section. Is South Africa bigger than Ghana music industry? That is the question many people are really asking. This is coming after I made a list of the biggest music industry in Africa. Nigeria being number one, followed by Ghana on my list, and then South Africa. But South Africans are really coming at me and saying that they are supposed to secure number two on that particular list. They are not dragging it with Nigeria, but they want Ghana to go to number three and then number two. I understand that in 2022, I will give it to South Africa to understand, but in 2023, Ghana actually did well. We have to understand it from a different light and a point of view. When it comes to digital market, South Africa is the second largest after Nigeria with over 43 million internet active users. That is a big market when it comes to streams and platforms, the rest. But now you have to understand that Ghana with 23 million active internet users, they were still on top ahead of South Africa because they opened their doors to visitors and they opened their doors to entertainers all around the world. They were hosting Afro Nations, different music concerts and celebrations that actually made their music to go up the chart. We have to give it to them in 2023 to an extent. But right now, a lot of people are really disagreeing with my list and saying that I made a mistake out there. But I never made a mistake. Based on the internet opinions and data from the internet in 2023 alone, I'm not talking about the 2022 or in the past. I'm talking about 2023. And now is another opportunity in 2024 for South Africa to go up the list because they need to do a lot of things right. They have the big market, the fantastic artists, Fela and a lot of others, Nasty C. They have to invest their time, their resources and their energy so that they can go up the list. Music has become a business in Africa. A lot of people don't understand that in Nigeria, they are projecting in 2025 to be having $14.5 billion in the music sector. That is a huge sum to be made. In 2023, the size of Nigerian music sector was about $4 billion. A big export and a big investment for Nigeria. Right now, they are projecting in 2025 to expand it to $14.5 billion. That is a big one. In South Africa, we have a few $100 million and now they want to take it up from there. They need to do a lot of things right. Ghana stayed ahead of them in 2023 because Ghana did a lot of collaboration, especially with Nigerians in 2023. South Africans, you have to be liberal with your music industry a bit so that you can host a lot of personalities across the world to see South Africa as a music destination. That can get you up the scale because music is now global. Ever since the founding of platforms like Spotify, like Boomplay and others, I think we should open up our music industry for foreign actors to come in. What is your own take about that? I want you to keep that in the comment section. Before I jump off, I want to say thank you guys for watching our videos and thank you for the love. Thank you for the support so far. If you are new here, you can click the subscribe button below, the bell notification icon to always get notifications each time we upload our videos.